Hi there everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's really nice to say that again. Hi, my name is Joesephyr if you've not been here before, and welcome to this new Dissidia Opera Omnia video, which is actually going to be looking at an older video that I made maybe 8 or 9 months ago, something like that. And it's going to be a really interesting one because in the last video I posted where I spoke about where I'm going to go with this channel, a lot of people requested a new version of the video that I'm about to talk about, which is a future pulls video. So basically what I did is I went through all the banners that were up to the current point in Japan for Dissidia, and I spoke about where I plan my gems and tickets to go, and I thought it would be fun 8 months later or 9 months later to then go back and rewatch that video and then see if I actually adhered to my own advice. I'm fairly sure there were quite a few points in time where I did not. So if you're interested in watching that, it's going to be quite a long video because the video itself was quite long to begin with, and I want to give you guys something really nice and meaty to tuck into as I kind of get back on the scene and start talking about Dissidia and all sorts of other things once again. Speaking of that video, of course, we still have a straw poll going on, which I would very much love it if you guys would quickly check that out. I'll leave a link to it in the description box below, which will give you guys some ideas of the kind of ideas I've had in terms of moving forward with the channel and stuff I want to do in addition to Dissidia content. Obviously, you know, the poll has had a lot of votes already, and I have a vague idea of where I want to be going with it, but every single vote counts, so thank you very much in advance for anyone who decides to do that. My Discord and my Patreon are still live right now, but I am currently reworking them, so do forgive me if they're a little bit of a mess right now, but I will make sure that I will let you guys know when Patreon's all back up and running again, and then the Discord you're more than welcome to join in with straight away, because we still have lots of people who are still chiming into that and still talking, but I obviously need to make sure that people are aware that I am there to speak to once again. And obviously don't forget to check out all of the other Dissidia Opera Omnia content creators as well. I shall leave a couple of, names and things just down below so that you can have a look at those as well, and I very heavily encourage you to check them out too. Okay, so here we have the older video just here, and I'll get it started in just a second. First of all, I have gained so much weight since that point in time. We're talking like 8-9 months, and I'm sitting there looking at the difference and I'm thinking, oh good lord. Also, I think it's pretty cool that I've learned a lot about video editing and like appearance and how to present my videos, so much like come into my own style since then. But it'll be really interesting to see where this goes. How many is there? 10. Okay, so I had 17 EXs then, so this is 8-9 months ago. I now have 61, which is quite a lot more. So although these last couple of months have been horrendous for luck for me.
Obviously certain things on there, and you may not have some of the same stuff I do. So I will say
this is still very much true. Obviously, advice that I give when it comes to these, because I do plan on doing another video like this, is going to be based on obviously stuff that I've got. So I will make sure that when I make another video, you guys will have a complete account update as to what I have.
Which is a lot. But that's because
oh, I have a lot more resources than this now as well, actually. I've been saving, really. I'd have a lot more if it weren't for my bad luck. I think I've got 680 tickets and about 310,000 gems. So that's quite a lot more.
I do also get lucky sometimes. Like recently, I've been very, very fortunate. So
the same cannot be said of me right now.
193 tickets, and the most of those came from farming Ifrit and the most recent events.
That's also very true. The majority of any resources that I have come from farming summon boards. Like, I mean, I have like no content left to do in that game. Like, I've got nothing. So while I have got a lot of stuff right now, like second LD and burst era turns up, I can see it just going straight down.
So now we can have a proper look at what's going to be coming in the future for anything. Like, using the website I said earlier.
Oh, my hair! I haven't had my hair coloured in ages.
For that, for those who want to check it out. But we can have a quick look through some of these. Now we're a bit further down, so you can see like Hooja's here and Paladin Cecil, Quistis, etc.
God, was that
There's
that
some
long ago?
variations. Like Thancred was somewhere around here. So he wasn't too far away for us, whereas there he is, there's Thancred. So we got him a lot earlier than this, so you can't take everything that's said here.
I did try for Thancred and failed.
It does allow us to plan ahead. Now the first one that's going to come up is going to be Lena, so that's a bit further ahead than we are. But the summer banners here got obviously the reworks of things like Virion and Onion Knight.
One thing I will point out is that there will be quite a lot of banners that Japan had that we didn't, and vice versa.
I will more than likely go all in on to be honest, with this sort of, you know, she's just one of the best.
I spent 50k on Lena. Don't regret it at all.
Japanese
People are still using her now.
People who played the Japanese version of the game in their videos, you'll see that Lena gets used well into the Cosmos era if you have her EX and everything. So
yeah, like I said, I mean, she gets used the whole way through Cosmos, and she gets used like sometimes even now in Chaos era. Like people are using her in Dimensions End. She's that good. Yeah, I think she cost me 50k in the end, but I don't regret it even slightly.
But then similarly, we've got Rinoa that comes straight afterwards, and then Sephiroth comes straight afterwards. So Rinoa's a character that I probably will pull on. You know, she's somebody that I'll be happy to get. I'm hoping, God forbid, that I don't.
Oh, I know how cringy this video is going to be already.
130,000 gems sounds like a lot, but it doesn't. If I have to pity
it
Lena,
wasn't.
then I probably won't go for Rinoa. You know, it's like we can obviously plan to some extent what we've got to do, but our luck plays a lot into it. So Lena is somebody I plan to go all in on if I absolutely have to. I already have.
Lena cost me 40k, and Rinoa cost me 50, and then Sephiroth cost me 50 again. I went so low on resources after this match. So bad.
He just doesn't do as much damage as she does in the long term. But the fact that I have Rosa pairs up really nicely with Golbez, whereas she doesn't pair up particularly well with Rinoa, because Rinoa
Rosa was, I mean, I'm so glad I got Rosa when I did, like the first time round, because she's just a god now.
As fussed about her as I am about Lena. Sephiroth, also a very, very good character going forward into the Cosmos.
I'm going to pause that there. Sephiroth is one of my biggest regrets, and I've made that regret twice. I pulled on him, and I pulled him really hard. I spent the rest of my resources getting him, and I barely used him. I remember I did a stream, and I got my boyfriend then, fiance now, by the way, to pull for me, and he messed it up. And I then purpled him, put all ingots into him when he came back around again, after I tried to get Ico. And I still regret it. It's like, Sephiroth was such a trap character. Rinoa, on the other hand, I was really pleased about getting. She actually did do a lot of work for me. I was also buying costumes quite a lot back then, and I'm not now, just as a point of reference.
The best characters in the game in JP as of right now, which consists of the Ultimisia, the Emperor, and Sephiroth for your DPS needs. But while Sephiroth is amazing, he comes back quite frequently, as you'll see as we go.
That's not true. Like, this is something, again, that I will say, that you have to take with some of the stuff that I say with a pinch of salt here, because some of that stuff didn't happen. Like, there was a Cloud and Sephiroth banner that we never got, and I think that they did that in JP after the announcement of FF7 Remake.
The fact that I have Golbez makes me not want to pull on Rinoa quite as much. Jecht and Lulu is one that's probably quite skippable, to be honest. You know, like, I think
grabbed Jecht.
More DPS, which is nice.
I did get really lucky on Jecht though.
Rinoa, Sephiroth.
I didn't get Lulu 35 at the time though.
If you get one of those three, you're good to go for quite a while. So I won't be pulling on this banner, particularly having seen that Lulu's EX Plus comes out sort of, well, it's only just come out in JP, but
which is literally one of the things that we're looking forward to now.
This is the thing. It's like, yes, it would be lovely to get
I won't be pulling on Lulu EX though.
It would be nice to get Lulu's kit, but they're both DPS characters. I don't need them. So that's something
Still
to
did
bear.
it.
If you're a massive fan of some of these characters, go nuts. Go crazy for them. But you have to kind of bear the long term in mind.
I'm trying to think of when the period of time where I just hoarded
so a lot
was.
of people have a lot less gems than I do, and you know that's got to carry you for a long time. So when you're going to pull on a banner,
I miss having blue hair.
You have three kind of tiers of whether you want to pull on it or not. Like I said earlier, you either don't pull on it at all, you pull a little bit on it and you hope you get lucky, but you have to know when to stop if you're going to do that.
Yeah, because I did that so well during Lena, Sephiroth, and Rinoa.
100% prepared to get 75,000 gems to get that EX, or don't bother doing it at all. It's just, you know, the fact that we have a pity system in this game, make use of it, is my one bit of advice here. And
I have frequently.
I'm actually just going to ignore these altogether, pretty much. But so
yeah, I mean the once a week pulls, they were always worthless. You would never ever use resources on these.
Sid again, he's like a dispel character. He does.
I didn't touch Sid. I didn't pull on Sid at all.
But he's not ultimately, like, if you go and look online videos, you very rarely see Sid get used. His banner partners are nothing to write home about.
I didn't pull for Lan and Rain, but I would have liked to have gotten them because they're really cool, and they're going to be coming back around again, like in a couple of weeks. So
banners
skip
I
ahead
tend
a little
to
bit, shall we?
finish it, don't panic. And if you're unlucky for a period of time, don't panic. Your luck will come back around.
This is still
Mine
true.
did, and other people I know have. Just try to stay strong with it.
Yeah, that's still true.
Command
That's still
Rain,
true.
I actually want to pull on personally, even though you really don't need to.
I didn't because I'd used
I
so
think
much
they're really
resources on the
cool,
other
and
ones.
they're just a
But I would have
character
liked to
I'm
have gotten Lan and
interested
Rain.
in because they have like multiple elemental properties and things like that, and I VVEX might be nice if I get Zidane.
I didn't get VV or Zidane X. I just weapon token Freya and left it, and that was a brilliant thing to do. She was so useful for so long.
And just go in with weapon tokens and just pick up her 15 and 35 CP and just skip that banner and use the resources. Sarah, who will come along with Shiva's...
She was really nice to me, actually. And Sarah was a character that is just... She was consistently brilliant.
So all of her attacks
Don't regret grabbing her at all.
Give buffs, give all of these nice things. But she tends to do a bit more damage than Lena does, whereas Lena grants more defensive buffs.
Yeah, so I did pick up Sarah, and I don't regret it even a little bit. Like, she didn't take me very much. She took me some tickets, and that was it. And obviously, with it being Shiva, because she was nice to me, I suddenly gained 25, 30k like gems and 300 tickets. That if a summon board banner is nice to you, it's amazing.
Very, very similar kind of moveset to Lena.
Okay, let's skip over it a little bit because
again will carry. When he comes out, and I emphasize that because when he comes out, he makes Warrior of Light look like garbage, but he doesn't last all that long before level 70 starts becoming a thing, and at that point, Warrior
oh god, is this before level 70? Has it been that long?
And then
damn, I totally pulled for Zach.
Even better.
I totally pulled. I caved. I totally pulled for Zach.
Now in JP is still considered one of the best characters in the game.
Which is the point that we're at now.
However, Vayne is probably the next character that I'm happy to go all in on.
And I don't regret it even slightly. I got him in my first 5k pull. He was nice to me, but I did a little drawing of him beforehand. I did everything. I caved into the inner, like, worshipping RNGesus and all that, and it worked. I think I did that on stream, in fact.
I'll think about it. Vayne, however, is an astronomical DPS unit at his time.
He is. I mean, people still use him now.
Or anything yet.
And his EX Plus, I think, should come around, or his realization should come around about April time, I think.
Watch this space on the JP side of things, because he might be disappointing, but he might be game breaking again. The reason he's
and he is. When his realization comes around, he's really strong again. And because we've had Aranea as well, who, by the way, if you haven't pulled for Aranea, what are you doing here? Just go and pull for her. You do not need me to tell you to go and pull for Aranea. Everyone else has. Just do it.
And he's providing sort of like.
But when Vayne comes around, having Vayne and Aranea in a party is going to be absolutely vile. Like Vayne, I can see Vayne, Ishtola, Aranea being ridiculous.
And he is definitely a character I would recommend. Lael, no, I'm not too fussed about Lael. Like, he's had his day in the
I still have my tokens from DE Order, and if I don't get Onion Knight or Shantotto with Camlanort and Yuri, I'll probably spend them on. I will spend them on Lael because Lael's EX realization is actually very strong.
So from this point onwards,
I already had Squall at this point, so that's why I didn't. This was when Abyss Beta came out.
The EXs you have.
I don't like. I'd like to have gotten Lael, but I thought it was too risky a banner for me to pull on. You know, got a decent amount of resources from the Abyss.
Until Lael EX comes around with something else, and then I'll pull for that. Rydia, again, I'm not too fussed about.
Didn't touch Rydia.
Kind of elemental damage. She doesn't really stand out in any way.
A lot of people argued with me. I'm actually just going to stop there. Loads of people argued with me about Rydia. Now, I get that people really fan over, like, just go crazy over Rydia. She wasn't good, and she still isn't. And she was just a character that was never worth pulling for outwardly. And people wanted to grab her then because, like, she would ride you out the rest of the way, and she was a farming character, which was quite good. But there are so many better ones. And it's really upsetting because people really, really dug at me for saying that Rydia wasn't worth pulling for, and she wasn't.
One like Freya, where Fran doesn't come with an EX, but Ashe does.
I used tickets on this banner, and I got Fran 35, so I stopped. Although the reason for that, and I'm really glad I did, is because when Fran's EX comes out, then it means that banner's much more viable for me, because I don't have Ashe EX either.
They're usually very strong with or without an EX. So there are exceptions to this, and I will get to those. But Fran is pretty good. So, I mean, I'm not particularly attached to Ash, personally. And I have Agrius as like my paralysis monkey, as it were. And when Cloud gets his rework, or like if he hasn't already,
can't watch a video without a cup of tea.
You know, Cloud is a thing as well. He's going to be able to do paralysis on the occasion. I don't need Ash. Like, I would like her. I don't need her.
And
so
I did actually adhere to that. I was actually a good boy with that one.
Laguna EX, which will, you know,
Laguna EX makes me sad because he's the only FF8 character I don't have the EX for now.
A fan favorite,
but I didn't pull for him.
He doesn't really stand out in the meta, so I could skip this one. You may choose not to. Warrior of Light and Shantotto, like Shantoto's
didn't touch his banner because I already had Warrior of Light at this point.
But Warrior of Light is, however, Warrior of Light also comes back in a later banner with Garland, which is a much stronger.
We'll talk about Garland when we get to Garland.
If you have Warrior of Light, don't panic. If you get in here, great. Shantotto's rework is quite nice.
Now the next banner here with Alize is the one banner I regret not going further in on, purely because I love the character. Like, she's the one character I wish I had. But I will probably be. It means I'll be excited when she comes back because her EX realizations are actually pretty good, even in the LD era.
Alize, when she comes back around again, will come with an EX weapon this time because she didn't the first.
This is the point. I think this is the point in time where I just started, like, from Fran onwards. I just saved for ages.
Terra doesn't come back with an EX, but Alize does, which is interesting.
We'll skip ahead a little bit there.
Large amounts of gems. Just by playing the game. Yeah, I spend a bit of money, but most of my stuff has come through.
I've spent a fair amount of money, like over the course of time. Although I have stopped, I've definitely stopped now.
I've said that I will go all in on Lena. I will go heavy, but not too heavy on Renoa. Hopefully, I won't have to. And I will go all in on Vayne.
And then
so far, and we're.
That's so not true.
And then Porum.
I didn't pull for Porum. I didn't pull for Pain.
You don't need it. If you grab either Lena
I didn't have to pull for Noctis.
I keep saying
I didn't pull for Sync, looking further down. Yeah, this period of time I just got like loads of resources.
Is the next step up in
and I think I got back to where I was before Lena Renoa and stuff.
Or any kind of debuff based character, then Pain may appeal to you.
I didn't pull for anything. I don't have Porum still. I don't have Pain still.
Weapons on her banner. No, she doesn't. You're gonna be able to pick him up at some point.
I did pick up Yuna. That was like a random. I just randomly picked up Yuna, and honestly, it was one of the best things I ever did.
So many people want these two that they're going to come back repeatedly. It makes perfect sense. So if you didn't pick up Sephiroth at the beginning of July,
yeah, unfortunately, this is one of those banners I was talking about. We don't get necessarily the same stuff that JP does, so when I make a new one of these, I'm a little bit more aware of that now, because obviously I've got 8 months of content creation experience to go with it. So I'll know which ones may or may not come about.
Comes back with Ico EX, and basically I want to make it so that if I do pull on a banner with 2 EXs, I'll be happy as long as I get an EX. The last thing I want is to pull for an EX I already have. You know, that's how you have to kind of.
I'll show you my account at some point.
This point going forward.
Dupe City. These past few months, like really.
Sync is another really strong DPS character.
She fell off really quickly though.
Hugely necessary. She's fantastic for her own event, but everyone is fantastic for their own.
Yeah, I agree with that. That she's not worth pulling for then, but she will be when on the next banner because Snow comes back with her and she's really good then, and so is he.
Seeing someone else's version of a character do really well in that event because it's designed to do that. It's actually very clever marketing when you see somebody else's. Let's use Golbez as an example.
Listen to him.
When you see someone else's Golbez absolutely destroy an EX or a co-op event or something like that, you go, "God, I want that. That looks really good," and then you go and pull for it. Try to kind of not let other people's stuff make you jealous and then want it.
Listen to Slightly Skinnier Joe.
Otherwise, you'll end up pulling on every banner, and that's not a good idea. Sync is a great example of that. Sync is fantastic for her event. But if you have Noctis already, then he's going to carry you really well through that event too.
See, Noctis I had from the first time around, and he carried me for ages. And like again, loads of people had a massive dig at me, saying like, "Oh, Noctis falls off really quickly because as soon as Chaos comes around, he's rubbish." It's like, yeah, fair enough. But he literally carried the end of the Cosmos era by himself. and I don't regret giving him recommendations at all. Like, I think that, honestly, my favourite characters to pull for are the ones that make my life easier. Like, I don't want to struggle as much as I have to through some of these events. That's why I give advice on these things. It's why I go pulling on certain banners and not others, because I want to make my life as easy as possible. The same applies to Yuna. I pulled for Yuna knowing what her EX Plus did, and honestly, it was one of the best things I ever invested in, because she just made auto farming insanely easy from that point onwards. And then Noctis carried the entirety of the Cosmos era for me, and a little bit of the early Chaos as well, from what I remember. But honestly, he was, you know, I don't regret doing that one bit.
So don't let certain banners like fool you. Basically, Yuna's really cool. She has Valor 4 as her EX. She comes back. Like,
I did use
gets,
her.
Another shot.
I didn't pull hard for her. I remember I got her quite easily, so she was actually quite nice to me. I wouldn't have gone too heavy. Ramza was really... I already had Ramza from his first time round, but Ramza's EX is really... like I used him in DE1 Entropy, and it still worked. He's just a really good character. Okay, we don't need to talk about Yuna anymore.
Again, like, Selfie's kind of done her job.
I really enjoy Selfie. I did get Selfie EX. Again, she was quite nice to me. So at this point, like... And again, and then Ramu, like, Setsa was a bit of a pain to get, I think, but again, I like got another insurgence of resources here.
If you got Selfie EX, fantastic. It is going to help you.
Yeah, I did get Selfie EX, and I really enjoy using her. I used her in Entropy 5.
To be honest with you, as somebody who's grown really fond of the FF4 characters recently,
that banner never happened for us.
Not pulled for Paladin Cecil and pulled for this one instead, because
no, ignore that. Because I was really happy that I got Paladin Cecil at the time.
Are incredible. I just really wanted them.
I did pull for Setsa. I think I only used tickets though. I think it took me like 150 something tickets, but Setsa's a really good character. I've just seen who comes up at the bottom.
I think it's Ramu's.
I didn't pull for Prompto at all.
Again, it's not hugely necessary. Let's do a quick pull on that.
See, I think Setsa's amazing now.
Oh, there we go.
I really like.
That's the kind of pulls that we want.
Yeah, that's not the kind of pulls that I usually get.
That would be the sort of thing that I would do in the game, really. Like,
yeah, Prompto I didn't pull for at all. Talking about Prompto.
He is a little bit lackluster compared to other characters.
Still true.
So this one I will probably
Still
skip,
true, unfortunately.
And having banners you can skip is a good thing. You can like kind of, especially if you've just had to pity an EX or something like that.
Yeah, that I know that pain all too well.
Go, okay, I don't need
there is a portion of time where my luck just dive bombs and it just doesn't come back up until very recently.
Gilgamesh will be another one of those banners. Nobody talks about Gilgamesh EX.
Anyone who's followed me for a little while knows my story with Gilgamesh. I thought it would be funny if I thought, well, I'll put 5 tickets into it. If I get Gilgamesh in 5 tickets, then so be it. First ticket was a gold and it was a Chocoblade. Second ticket was a gold and it was another Chocoblade. Third ticket was a gold and it was Gilgamesh's EX. And I just thought, oh no. And I remember, like, I did the Should You Pull video on him and I slammed him. Like, absolutely slammed Gilgamesh. And I ended up getting him. So I'm like, oops.
It's just not... It's not a weapon that people go chasing after unless you're a huge...
Alphino I picked up with weapon tokens, and he's probably the one I regret doing that with. Although, to be fair, I do and I don't, because I got... Alphino, like, you know, when his EX comes around, it means that I only have to get his EX, because Lord knows I'm going for his EX.
They aren't... You're less likely to get something out of it.
I didn't get Ida.
Alphino is, I want him to be good.
I love the character enough that I don't care. I went for his weapon anyway.
15 to 30 lives, but no EX weapon, and then someone else's EX weapon comes with it. This one is just, he's just not great, and I love Alphino. He and Alize are my favourite characters in FF14.
And then Alphino's EX comes around and then saves the day.
Powerful, though, so I might pull on this for flavour's sake. I'm not going to go all in on it.
I just used weapon tokens in the end, so I didn't go for Ida.
Something nice out of it. Noel's banner is very good, however.
I picked up Knoll and Locke from this banner, actually, and it wasn't that expensive. We had a free pull. To this day, as of right now, I've still only ever gotten one EX on a free pull, and it was Ace.
I didn't pull on Locke's banner when it came out, but I've kept his 15.
We've had like 8 free pulls in EXs over the course of like February this month, and I haven't had a single one. Not even a dupe.
I've done it with Zach, I've done it with Locke, I've done it with a few others, where I'm like, okay, well, I've got that now. At least I don't have to worry about that when I'm chasing after the EX. Because I chased after Quistis EX, got the EX after 60,000 gems, and I still had to go into the power token shop.
65,000 gems, actually. Really, I think I was underplaying it because I don't know. I don't know why I did that. 65,000.
And I'll definitely give it a fair whack, just because Knoll is really good.
Knoll was a good one. I don't regret. Yeah, Knoll was a good one. I picked up Locke. I've still barely used Locke, to be honest, because I just never wanted to give him resources, because he was an okay character. I know with his realization he's actually pretty good, but I don't know. There were just other characters that always took priority for me over Locke, and then Knoll I did use. I mean, I farmed the heck out of his artifacts, that's for sure. And I did use Knoll for quite a long time. I think I used him in one of the entropy stages. I think it was 2. No, maybe 1. Might have been 1. But, you know, Realm, I didn't pull at all because I had no interest in Realm. Aphmau's event was a nice one.
Entirely because of some of the stuff that comes after her. And then there's some extra banner. Leon is...
Oh, don't know. I actually skip over Aphmau completely, and Aphmau was really good. I don't know why I completely dodged Aphmau. Although, ironically, I never got Aphmau's 35. I could just go and weapon token it now, but there's no point at this point. I did, however, get Lion EX. And Lion EX, I absolutely love. I used it for ages, like, well up until early chaos. Like, well, I say well up until early chaos, it was like a week later. But I used it for farming. I used it because, obviously, Una EX Plus hadn't come around by then. I used... I loved using Lion because all of her stuff was splash damage on her... powder keg, and it was really powerful. And then I like, again, ease of use. Just mash one button for the easy stages until I win, and then that means that I can concentrate on doing something else while I'm playing that part of the game, because you don't want to concentrate on easy content. What are you concentrating on? And Lion helped that a lot. Leon I did pull for and was quite nice to me. Charlotta was not. Charlotta was not nice to me at all.
Okay, well, Leon is not a banner that I'll be pulling on anytime soon. So
that is a lie. That is a lie. I have Leon EX. I think I only spent 10k on it though, and some tickets. I think it was quite nice to me. But that is an outright lie when I say, oh, I'm not going to pull on Leon EX, because I did. And I liked it. And I used him. And it was really good. He's still pretty good now, actually, because he's got a niche that no other character in the game has. And he's really cool, so I don't regret getting him.
Like, this is the thing. There are no bad characters in Opera Omnia. There's a couple,
except Gilgamesh.
Not many.
Except Gilgamesh.
There's no really
and Zell.
duds. Certainly
and maybe
not
Fang.
during their own event. So
there's a few.
You kind of just have to go, like, people will argue with me instead of go, oh my god, why are you going to skip this banner? It's really good. It's like, because there's banners either side of it that I think are better, or in terms of meta, or things that I think are going to last longer, like Lena, like Renoa, like Vayne, they're just going to last that much longer. The next
Which is true.
down, however, is Charlotta, who is the last character to appear before EX Plus starts becoming a thing.
Charlotta
really
was
strong,
absolutely
though.
godlike.
Like,
I think I spent like 60k getting her. EX, something like that.
Hers.
All
That's
of the stuff
fine,
I'd saved
though,
up, it just started going back down again at this point, I think.
Like the next stage up from your Lenas, your Sarahs, your Selfie.
I was I started to become a bit less cavalier, or a bit more cavalier with my resources after a while, because I'd gotten quite so much. Like, I made it a mission at this... Oh no, that's right. I made my mission to hit 999 tickets, which was the cap, before EX Plus came about, and I managed it just on Charlotta's event, which was the week before. So I had 999 tickets, which goes to show how, like, when you go through it like that, you go, damn, actually this game is extremely generous with its resources, because I did spend tickets on things, and I still had 999 tickets by the time Charlotta came out. And bear in mind, at the start of this video, I had 180, and I had to go crazy on multiple characters in terms of gems. I may have gone straight in with gems, though, in all fairness, but that's still well over 800 tickets over the course of time, at least 1,000, because I spent some. And yeah, like the game is so generous with its resources, but Charlotta was an absolute monstrosity when she came about.
Role within your party, you'll be fine. Like Quistis fills that role beautifully, like that extra role, because she just.
Or you could be like Aranea and do every role at once.
And having a primary physical DPS, a primary
except buffer,
DPS, and a primary support character. Everything will be the next one after that, I reckon. Instantly becomes the best character in the game again.
That was a really good point to start that video again. Just put that out there.
He lasted quite a long time actually, but EX Plus is something that's quite limited in terms of resources, just like 6060 Awakenings were when they first came out.
I actually did pick up Vincent from this. Like I randomly just pulled a ticket because I had 999. I had to spend tickets at that point, and I actually got Dark Knight Cecil and Vincent through doing that.
Have the resources to do the next one up that you want. But you can see what I'm saying about Cloud coming back so frequently, because Cloud comes back again with Sephiroth, again with Vincent, and then 2 weeks later he comes back again with Lightning and Squall. Now, this
Cloud did come back multiple times, and Cloud was such a good investment, because I instantly 3 out of 3 ingoted Cloud. Ingoted. That's not a word. I still haven't done any. I haven't even realised Vincent's, I just left it there.
I actually already have all 3 of these EXs, so I can skip this quite happily.
Well,
and then Fang EX Plus is
I didn't pull Fang
for me, given that I already have Tidus. Like, I'm sure Fang's very, very good.
Right. From this point onward, I think I'd accumulated like 225,000 gems. Bear in mind that I had been buying costumes and stuff at this point, and I'd been saving that big portion of time, so I would have had more if Charlotta hadn't been a cow. But I skipped Fang. I didn't do anything with the initial EX Plus because I already had Cloud, and Vincent came to me really easily. Garland. I think I actually recommend not pulling for Garland in this video, and let's just check.
But I look at these and I sit there and go, okay, I don't need this because I have this. The next one down, I'm going to skip because I don't particularly need Garland as.
That did not happen. I'm just going to put that out there right now. Like, the glasses have come off. I did not skip Garland. I was having a really bad day. Like, a really bad day. And I thought, well, pulling was a good idea. I literally did everything I tell people not to do. And I ended up pitying Garland. Though, in all fairness, I have used him quite a lot. I've purpled him, and I really enjoy him. And yeah, it was a really, really bad idea.
Great as he
it's just quite.
Because I already have Warrior of Light, and he becomes the best.
Got 3 Warrior of Light now.
So, if you're going in for him, I would suggest this banner as the one that you go in for Warrior of Light on, because both of these guys are incredibly good. And then the next one is.
I got both of these.
Cryol's EX is apparently very good.
Yeah, it is. Well, it was. It's not so much now.
I probably will give this a pull and then leave it.
Which I did do, in all fairness. I did do that. Because I think we had a free pull on this one, and I did. No, maybe not. I didn't have to spend very much resources to get both Cryol and Zell, so this was a nice banner to me. So I can already see the next pity. This is what I'm talking about. Like, my luck does this, like, or had done at this point, because this would be the point where I stopped making videos. Like, I stopped making videos. Like, Charlotta was the last one I made. So this will be a nice way to catch you up on where I am with my account.
Tifa and Kefka.
Yeah, we did. We got a free pull. No, we got a free pull with Aerith EX, which isn't listed here. And that was the one that had Ace, Sarah, and Aerith on it. And I got Ace EX for free. That's where I got Ace. That was before EX Plus.
Because Ace's EX is really strong after EX Plus, and I didn't get it the first time around.
I got it the second time.
Would just be a nice extra and would kind of expand my.
Deuce I did get, actually, and she was alright.
Plethora, as it were. I think it's.
Ultimisia, I didn't.
Now, this next banner is the one banner I will make an exception for when I say I've got one EX on the banner and I don't have the other.
And I don't regret it even a little bit.
I have to have this character.
And so did everybody else.
75,000 gems deep for this character if I have to. Not only is she one of my favourite characters, but she's also busted on her time of release.
She's still really silly now.
3 turns straight after she uses it for free, no matter where in the line her turns are supposed to go. Her attacks last for ages. She's just fantastic. And I can't wait.
And the next banner as well. This is painful to watch.
And then at this point, then there's Kuja and Lilith EX, which come back around, which is quite nice. I think that's I think that comes back with Palam EX as well.
No, it doesn't.
Triple EX banner. No, it's a double EX banner. I mean, Lilith EX would be really nice, but I already have Kuja EX, and his EX Plus is also very strong when it comes around. So I'm probably not going to worry too much about this one.
That's not true either. No, pulled for Lilith, which cost me about 200 tickets. And did I do gem pulls? No, I don't think I did any gem pulls, but I think my ridiculous number of tickets went down very quickly because I spent over 100 on Ultimecia just because I'd hit the cap, and then I spent another 200 on Lilith. I don't even know why. Although I did use Lilith in one of the Dimensions End entropy runs. I spent over 150 on Faris, though I really like Faris. I spent another 150 or 200 on Rem and got Machina along the way. I got Lise very quickly. I don't even know why I pulled for Lise, because she's not good. She was okay, but I already had Ishtola at this point.
Zidane and Lena. This is the other reason I want to pull for Lena now, is because the next time she comes back is going to be for ages, and by the time she has come back, she doesn't get her EX Plus there, and then I don't think...
She's still good. To be fair, she's still good there.
Chaos battlers are starting to come around, but the fact that she's lasted this long is impressive. Then the next one down is going to be Agrius and I believe Faris EX as well.
Yeah, Faris EX I don't regret pulling for at all. Like, I mean, I must have sunk at least 600 tickets in that month, at least.
Some of these units now means that I don't have to pull on some of these banners later, and I have to be okay with the fact that I'm going to be skipping some of these characters. Like I said, Faris EX was great. I love Faris. Faris is awesome.
Nope, didn't happen.
I'm not going to pull for her based on the mere chance that I'm just going to get a duplicate of an EX I already have.
I actually did it. I didn't get a dupe Agrius.
And I don't want it. Machina is, from what I gather, Machina doesn't actually bring all that much to the table.
I've left, to be fair, I haven't even realised Machina's EX. Rems I have, but Machina's I haven't. And I like that I have Rem.
Apparently quite similar. And they come back with, are they double or triple EX banners? Okay, so...
If Alize's EX had been on that banner, I would have gone all in. Because at this point, this was the point where I regretted not having Alize. Alize's not even very good, and I just loved her.
Oh, that's just Rem and Machina, which makes sense. But they're alright. Like, Rem is good.
I didn't pull for Sellers EX at all, and she's actually quite cool. Like, she's a character I kind of wish I had.
And Locke's Lost Chapter, I believe, sees...
There's another free pull for Locke. Yeah. Like, if you don't, like, I think like a good 70% of the player base who has played since the first Locke banner has Locke EX, just because the number of free pulls you've got through him.
Nothing incredible. He's just good. He's quite good. He's not.
And again, and I'll pause it there because I actually agree with that. Still, I don't think Locke is that amazing. I think he's pretty good at everything, but not really that great at anything. So I don't regret that at all. I like Sellers, and I think that she's really cool. And there's some fights that she literally trivializes, so if you have her, fantastic. But at this point, I was like, I've spent so many resources, I've got to stop.
Amazing. Sellers is one of those nice examples of a character that I was mentioning earlier that brings something unique to the table. With
she does.
And things like
Runic
that.
is really cool.
Might be worth grabbing. And then Barsh comes back with Varn. Varn's EX Plus is apparently very disappointing, so I shall probably skip this one. And I've not heard...
Nope. Sunk 25k, maybe another 100 tickets to get Barsh. I did get it eventually. I got 3 Varns along the way. That was painful. Oh no, I've just spotted what banner comes next. This banner, I swear to God. Like, I just want to see what I say first.
Sort of buzz about Barsh. Balthier is apparently very good, and then Kate Sith EX coming along with it. I'd be happy to get Kate Sith's EX for sure. I think it's very interesting. It uses the dice mechanic, and it uses a lot of different things. And
so I had another bad day. May have pitied Balthier, and not got Kate Sith either. I still don't have Kate Sith EX, but Lord knows I purpled Balthier after that, because I was just like, well, I've gone this far in now. I guess I'll make the best of it. Sunk cost fallacy much, but Balthier is actually really good. Like, I went from having none of the Dispel characters to having Faris, Balthier, Vanille, and Yuffie, and I've just dispels for days apparently. But yeah, this banner was an absolute pain for me.
Balthier just sort of like it augments himself to a huge amount.
Oh, now I've got a nice saving point
then
again.
We have, I don't think that's Freya EX.
I've got a nice saving point here again.
No, that's, we still haven't had Freya EX just yet. Then Barrett and Tifa.
I already had Tifa, because, funny story, Tifa I pulled by accident, because I was hovering over because people were telling me off for hoarding too much, so I was like, oh sod it, I'll just do a random pull on Barrett's banner, and I got Tifa EX, and I was like, oh, I didn't even mean to do that. Turned out she's really good. Don't regret that at all now.
Numerous times in my videos. DPS units are a dime a dozen. It's very rare that a DPS unit comes around and there's a I have to have that.
Tifa was one of those characters though.
Really step it up, like Renoa / Golbez, or Noctis's Lost Chapter, or Cloud when he gets his EX+. There's very rare DPS cases where you're like, I have to have this now. Ultimisia is a good example. Like, she is ultimately a DPS.
See, now I know it's
very,
like different types of DPS are actually very important. I'll just quickly pause there. Because it's important to have physical DPS, range DPS, and magical DPS. Like, if you've got one of each of those, then you're pretty golden. Or at least a couple of each so you've got different options. In this day and age, obviously quantity of EXs is just as important as anything because of things like Dimension's End. You want to have a large collection of them. So right now, I actually recommend pulling on any banner that you don't have any EX on. I actually think it's worthwhile. If you've got a decent amount of resources and you're not saving for anyone in particular, the way I've been doing it recently is if a banner, like right now, Garland Terra, I don't have either EX, or I didn't, and then I didn't get anything in the free pool, and I threw a few tickets at it, and I got a Terra, and I'm like, Terra's nothing special, she isn't, but she's still an extra character, like, so it's just good to get a good collection of them at this point because of things like DE.
Being on steroids and a magic attacker, so there's exceptions that can be made for this. And then Kimari's apparently
Kimari was
pretty
crap.
good, but by this point
Didn't touch this banner with a barge pole. Already had Yuna. Then this was where I realised her EX.
I'm really happy I have Rosa
Got
EX now.
she was my farming queen, and she still
very
is.
fortunate.
Rosa is
Because
godlike. I love Rosa. She's a little bit boring, if anything, but she's still amazing. I'm so glad that I didn't have to pull for Rosa because of the character coming after her.
And her buffs are better, and she starts doing more damage. She gets overflow on things. So like all of the stuff that she does now, and on top of all that, she still has the best single buff in the game in Rosa's Prayer.
It's true.
Sabin EX is apparently
Still
really
true.
good as well, but I don't feel a need to pull for another DPS.
I think I actually sunk a few tickets in there to try and get Sabin, and I don't even know why.
And I'll have Rosa by then, so there's no reason to. Especially considering that the next banner down has the Emperor on it, who is bug nuts insane. His trap mechanics are phenomenal. If you
and he was nice to me. He was nice to me. I got him in my first 5k pull.
Go and watch some of his stuff. Like, I believe
no, that's a lie. I got him in tickets.
That comes about.
Got him in tickets. I got him and Furion actually in tickets. This banner was really nice to me, which was nice considering how the previous month or two had been absolute arses.
The amount of damage that he puts out is crazy.
This was where I picked up Vanille. I did pick up Vanille from this banner, from tickets. I also got... Oh, see, look, I'm skipping through things. I got Yuffie there as well, and Yuffie's actually really cool. Bart's was who I spent my first batch of the EX tokens on, and I still haven't realised his weapon, so I don't... like because I'd already had all of the big name characters that I already wanted. Like I made a video a while ago about, oh, this is the kind of thing that you want to be doing with your EX tokens, and I already had all the ones that I would recommend, so I ended up getting Bart's, and now that I still have the ones from Dimension's End order, and I haven't spent them yet because when Emperor came out, I didn't have Furion, so I thought, well, there's no point doing that because I know I'm going to pull for Emperor. So if I get Furion, then it's wasted. Similarly, I still haven't spent them because Onion Knight Yuri's coming up, and I really want that. I really want Yuri, so if I get Yuri before Onion Knight, I can just buy Onion Knight. And I also want Chantoto, and I also want Lael. So if I get... I'll throw tickets at Canonaut's banner, because Canonaut's like, he's okay, he's nothing special. And Kieran's kind of, So if I throw some tickets at Shantoto's banner and get Shantoto, then I'll buy Lael. If I get I think they'll probably be live at around the same time, so I might just throw some tickets at it and see which one of them I get first. If I don't get either of them, then I'll probably pick up Shantotto, because I think no, I'll probably pick up Lael, actually, because obviously with Shantotto coming back with her burst, it means that you've got chances of getting her stuff, and it means that I'm less likely to want to pull on, or to be tempted to pull on that banner, because the early bursts aren't actually that great.
We get these or not is completely up for debate.
We didn't get these. We got different. This is where we are now. We're coming up to where we are now.
Don't actually have their EX plus just yet, so you kind of have to just go with a pinch of salt. Like this one, like if we got Charlotta and Lilith and I didn't get Charlotta the first time round, this would be a great banner for me. So
yeah, we didn't get any of these, so I don't know what we're talking about.
This is the banner that I think Sephiroth really comes into his own. Sephiroth's banner.
3 Sephiroth dupes later.
With Ico EX plus.
I've got Ico, because FF9.
Like, Ico has never been bad, but at this point...
I really like Ico's EX realization,
she
actually.
Gets a little bit extra, so if you're gonna put... She's not...
She summons Maydeen. It's just cool.
Whereas Sephiroth at this point becomes one of the best DPSs in the game.
That is an outright lie. I realised Sephiroth and I regret it to this day.
So that's why I'm looking at...
Tifa. If you had Tifa, there was no reason to get Sephiroth.
My mentality is that if... As I said earlier, if Lena and Renoa are really mean to me and they make me really work for them, then I'll probably have to skip Sephiroth whether I like it.
Well, that did not happen, did it?
If I don't have to, yeah, I'll give him a go.
That did not happen at all.
If I get him, then I'll probably be more hesitant to pull on this one. So that's just the way your mind has to go. It's like, it's not a now
and instead, I pulled on both because I'm really clever.
That's a really comforting thing for a gacha game to have, actually. And then more Golden Week banners, and we haven't got much more after that. Oh yeah, we've got Golbez's Lost Chapter.
Okay, so now we're coming up to the point that we're at now.
7EX is pretty good.
7EX was meh. Like, 7EX was very meh. To be fair, I could kind of go from here, to be fair, because there's like, the Gao event is literally where we are now. And then Yuri and Onion Knight, you can see just at the bottom there. Now, Golbez is really good. Like, I love the fact that I had Golbez the first time, and he is like the best thing you can bring to a co-op event ever. He's another quality of life unit. I'm going to start referring to units like them as quality of life units. If you want to make your co-ops easier and quicker and just get through them as quickly as you can, just to drain all the tokens you can, Golbez is like the best character ever for that, because you go in, press Twin Meteor, and watch someone else press Twin Meteor and you win. That's like 30 seconds. You will fit in so many more co-ops during your like triple books or double books or whatever you're using if you're using Golbez. If you have a team of 3 Golbez, you will eat whatever co-op you're facing in 3 turns. 7, I kind of wanted 7 because at that point in time I had every Type 0 units EX, because I had Ace, Deuce, who are the other ones? Rem and Machina. I already had them, so I was like, oh, well, 8 and King are coming up. I did actually sink loads of tickets into 8's banner, and I don't even know why, because I got King's EX really quickly, and 8 actually isn't... Like, he's one of those, like, oh, he's good, but you don't need him. And I must have sunk 200 tickets into him. Because at this point, we've had Brothers, we've had Leviathan, we've had all these, like, summon boards, and this is what I'm saying. It's like, I've pulled quite a lot. I've pulled a lot over the course of these banners, even on ones I said I wasn't going to, and I'm still sitting on crazy amounts of resources. I have 680 tickets, and I have over 300,000 gems, and I've pitied multiple characters, gotten close to pitying others, and I have had banners that have been really nice to me. So what I was saying earlier about your luck rises and falls, it does. It really does. Like, I mean, that Lena Sephiroth Renoa package was absolutely evil, and Quistis had just come before that, and I did spend ridiculous amounts on her. This past month have been, or not this month, but the couple of months before were really mean. But this month has actually been really nice because I didn't get 7, I didn't get 8. We haven't got 9 yet. I got Ignis really easily, despite the fact that I already had Zac, which was quite nice. I haven't had any free EXs, but I've had Irvin, Terra, and Ignis all from tickets. Like, and not even that many of them. So, like, your luck ebbs and flows. So it's something you really want to bear in mind.
And then 8 is okay. He's not terrible. But the one after him is the next one that I would suggest going all in on. 75,000 gems.
See, this is the only banner where I sat there and I've given a recommendation to it and I'm not even that sure about it. I have Ignis and I really like him. I don't think he's worth a pity at all. I think he's good. If you didn't have Zac, then yeah, you just throw everything you've got at this banner because Zac is ridiculous. Maybe I'm like trying to make recommendations based on what I had then, because I didn't have Zac at the time. But I already had Zac, so I was like, I'll throw some tickets at it, and I did actually get Ignis. We also had Aranea at this point, which, like I said at the beginning, or nearer the beginning of this video, if you haven't already pulled for Aranea, ignore every other banner here and just grab her. She's absolutely ridiculous. Irvin, I've actually, like, I think... Hold on, do I say anything about Irvin in this?
Things that Ignis does, the fact that he comes with Zac EX plus, 5,000 or not, and then Renoa EX comes back on her Lost Chapter with Irvin EX, and apparently it's quite disappointing. So for
that is true.
If you're really excited for Renoa, maybe think twice. Like, if you have gold bears, if you have other stuff, then maybe you don't have to work on it too much.
I haven't done anything with my Renoa EX. She was the first dupe I actually got, because when I first pulled for her, I actually, like, on the 55k pull, I actually got 2 Renoa EX, and that's the only time that that's ever happened, when you get 2 EXs in one pulls. Irvin is actually a little bit better, because I don't think I even talked about him in this video at all, and he's actually a little bit better this time around because we have Aranea, who most of her attacks are ranged. She doesn't really need it, and we also got Noctis's EX realization early, and he does want it. He does want the ranged resist down. And I think I undersold Irvin a little bit. Is he necessary? Not even a little bit. But if you got him in a free pull, or you got him really quickly, like I did, I wouldn't sniff at it. He's actually not bad. Like, whether I'd spend ingots on him is debatable, because there's a lot of characters that I could spend ingots on that I actually haven't right now. In fact, when I make my next video, I'll probably ask for recommendations from you guys. I mean, as much as I'm the one that recommends people what they do with their stuff, I would actually appreciate some recommendations from you guys on what I could realise. Terra and Gao. Gao, I would leave this banner. Terra's nothing special at all. Like, if you've got other magic attackers, they're just better than her. Like, if you have Emperor, you have Artemisia, they're just better than she is. Gao is cool. Cool is the word I would use for Gao. Again, if you got him in a free pull, I wouldn't sniff at it, but I wouldn't go crazy on him unless you're a massive fan of the character. Yuri and Onion Knight, I actually really want both of these. Yuri does some insane stuff once he gets to the EX, when he summons his sister, and he just gets massive loads of effects on all of his attacks. And Onion Knight becomes like an Imperil character, which are much better now because we actually got the update that makes it so that weakness damage overrides everything else. Gold Bear's got a lot better as well because of this. Because Gold Bear's, for example, like if your opponent resists magic, for example, Gold Bear's does nothing, right? Wrong, because if you use Twin Meteor, which you will, because Twin Meteor always comes up when you need it, realistically, if you want to use it that way, it puts Dark Resist down. The weak damage from the Dark Resist down will override the resistance of the magic, so Golbez will still deal his insane amount of damage to them. So Gao's gotten better with it because he has Earth Resist down. Onion Knight has Ice Resist down, which works really nicely. Lulu will have Fire Resist down. There's a lot, and Shantoto is like Imperil Goddess, like she imperils everything. So they're weak to all elemental damage. So Shantoto is actually really interesting. So they're all quite useful characters. I might throw, like I say, I'm not going to pull on Jekt and Lulu because I already have Jekt. I'll probably end up throwing a few tickets at it because I have no willpower. Onion Knight and Yuri, I am going to pull on. Whether I use, I'm actually kind of enjoying hoarding gems again. Like I said, I'm back up to like over 300k, which is the most I've ever had. And I like, if my luck had been better, I'd have a lot more. So I might throw. I don't know whether I'll throw tickets at that or gems. If I get you, like, I'll let you guys. I'll let you guys decide. If you were in my position, knowing that Kieran comes straight after Camlanort with Lael's EX realization, would you spend your 10 DE order tickets on Onion Knight, Shantoto, or Lael? So that'll bring us to the end of that video. So yeah, as you can see, I give advice as best I can, but like many people who give good advice, they're not so good at taking it themselves. you know, take your own advice and all that. I mean, I've adhered to most of it. I guess. There were just certain situations where I didn't. I mean, honestly, that month with Garland, Balthier, and Artemisia was absolutely horrific. Like, I had to pity 3 characters in, like, less than 6 weeks. That's awful. Like, just awful. But equally, I have had some really nice banners. Like, I've had, like, I got Terra really easily, I got Irvin really easily, I got Ignis really easily, and like, so just, if this video tells you anything, just bear in mind that your luck comes and goes, like mine does. Some days you'll think it's amazing, some days you'll think, why am I playing this game, it's terrible. It happens to everybody. But yeah, let me know in the comments below how your pulls, or where, like, how closely you adhered to the last video that, you know, Skinny Joe made. And see like where you are with your resources, like how badly have you sort of had to go in with characters that you wanted, how badly have you had to go with characters that you weren't too fussed about. Just let me know in the comments below, or if you want to come and join me on Discord or anything like that, then please feel free to do so. It'd be lovely to hear from you. Anyways, do look forward to another video just like this one from this point in time onwards, and obviously I'm going to be doing other videos as well to do with Dissidia. I'm going to be doing sort of weekly updates. We've got all sorts of stuff coming up next month, so do stay in touch and keep that in mind. Thank you ever so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for notifications, and I will see you all very soon. Take care.